Uh,
What up? What up? What up? What up?
what's up, man? Sitting here
Get rid of this damn chat box.
in the wisdom.
What that is? Relentless.
Yeah, bro, the 13 cleaners.
Oh man, I love that book. I think I read that book 2017.
Yeah.
So what is this? 2025. I read that book in 2017.
It
Changed.
still holds true today, man. Tim Grover's
Oh,
got the life lessons in there.
it's phenomenal. Phenomenal book. It changed my whole mindset. Like once I started once I started indulging in like mindset books and sales books and just all types of books in general,
Yeah.
like my life and game went to a whole new level. Like I don't think I know nobody I know. I don't think I know anybody that read as much as I do. And that book blew my mind once I started reading it. Like
Yeah.
the way that I show up, the way that I started like showing up in sales, the way I started showing up in my life.
hmm
And yeah, big shout out to Tim Grover because once I read that book, the game was over for me.
Yeah, man.
In a good
100%,
way.
bro. 100. Let's
And if
see
y'all
what
never read that book, if you know what I mean, no matter how many people in the room right now, if you never read the book Relentless, I would encourage you to go read it.
Tim
And
Grover.
oh, gotcha. So if you never read the book, I highly encourage you to go read it. And if you have read the book, I would encourage you to go back and reread the book because I like to go back and read books that I've already read. Like I'll read them like a year later, a few months later, and I get different nuggets. I get things that I like read but didn't really digest, and it really just helps you, deeper ingrain this information to where it becomes a part of you, and then it becomes more internal than it just being something that you've heard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Get that boy Nick in the building with
Yeah.
that bad Wi-Fi. Tell your kids to get
I
off
get
the
to,
Wi-Fi.
I get to focus.
Tell
Noonan.
your kids to get off the Wi-Fi.
Hey, Deshaun, for those that are on, tell them who Tim Grover is real fast. That's a good segue into the bulletproof mindset. Let them know who Tim Grover is, the wrote Relentless.
Yeah, so if you don't know, I'm pretty sure y'all do. Tim Grover was Michael Jordan's personal trainer when Michael Jordan won his 6 championships. If you studied anything about Jordan and the greats and how they operate, is it took Jordan like 6-7 years before he won his championship. And the reason why he couldn't get to that championship goal was he didn't have a coach, right? He was super
Yeah.
skinny, he didn't work out, he was just relying on pure talent. And then he met Tim Grover. Tim Grover like had to go through a lot of work to officially get to him. And then once he got to him, they started working together. And he was able to help Jordan like win his first championship. He would like work with him nights before games, and they would do preparation before and after games. And he got so good, like they started winning at such a high level that he told Tim Grover, "I don't pay you to train me. I pay you not to train nobody else." And that's how Tim Grover kind of got his name. That's what started helping Jordan win his championships. And the most important thing that he had to do was like just develop this different type of mindset in order to like start succeeding in the NBA. And his original mindset wasn't getting them there. They just believed in just shooting the ball, being pure talent, not working out. And Tim Grover was like, bro, you need muscles. You ain't gonna get past the Pistons operating the way you operate. So Tim Grover came into his life and took his life to a whole new level. He's also trained Kobe Bryant. He trained Dwayne Wade, Charles Barkley. Like he's worked with the elite of the elite. And he wrote a phenomenal book called Relentless. And like I said, if you haven't read it, I highly encourage you to go read it. It changed my mindset. And that's what we're here to talk about tonight. Developing a bulletproof mindset. And developing a bulletproof mindset is bigger than just mental toughness.
Yeah.
It's all of the mental practices and strategies that you can implement to keep yourself successful, because you got to learn how to play mental games on yourself. You got to learn how to be your own change agent. You got to learn how to like mentally just stay elite and in the game, be present, the law of control, like just so many things that entails into the mindset side of things. And that's why I'm a firm believer, once you get your mind right, you can get your grind right. Your grind don't peak because your mind weak. And I established this early in my sales career, man. I probably started studying mindset in 2017. I got into roofing sales at 2015, and I've been like deep into this shit ever since then. So, that's what we're here to talk about tonight: developing that bulletproof mindset, so you can Some of y'all just starting the year. If you live up north, season opening, you kind of just getting started. Some of y'all have already been cooking, and we just want to give you the tools you will need to finish the year strong and at the highest level possible.
What's
right?
up, Nicole?
So that's what we're here to talk
Modern
about tonight.
Modern
Developing that
Built is
bulletproof
here.
mindset, man.
Yeah, man.
So-
Rob Cole's in the building. Rob Cole, what's up, Rob?
Yes,
Everybody's starting to hop on and say, hey.
There
Nick's
you go.
Wi-Fi.
He got
Nick's
his
in the
Wi-Fi.
building.
I'm on a different computer, actually. I just let me just try my laptop, see if that's better.
What you was on? You was on the desktop?
Yeah, I was on my main HP. I don't know.
Well, welcome to the show, Nick.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Well, you got an HP. That's why you should have had an Apple.
Don't let James hear that in the office. He keeps I got everybody HPs. He keeps like, man, when I get a MacBook?
Oh,
so I actually had a quote prepared before I even knew you were talking about Relentless. That's one of my favorite books. But one of my favorite quotes by Tim in that book is Relentless is about never being satisfied, always driving to be the best, and then getting even better.
Amen.
I always say if you're not growing, you're dying. And I just think that book speaks on that. And we have a hero book club, and we have a book list for hero roofing, and that is of course on that list.
Unpack that real fast. Just 30 seconds. You have a successful sales organization, a successful roofing company, and within your culture, you have a hero roofing book club. What is that all about?
Yeah, so we have about 15 different books that are on our, that are like, hey, these are books that when people are joined into the company, or whether you've been there, it doesn't matter. These are all books that we encourage our team to read. We do what's called a hero of the month. So when you finish a book, you get points to go towards winning hero of the month. And that's one of the books on there. Limitless by Jim Quick, which I got a quote by him today. That's on there as well.
I love Limitless. That book taught me how to remember names.
I have that one too.
Brain power goes into having a bulletproof mindset, I think, hand in hand, right? So,
Amen.
But it's one thing, Bruce, for us to for us as owners, I feel like the business owner reads the most books usually in the company.
Yeah.
Supposed to. Just put supposed to.
Yeah, supposed to. First of all,
supposed to.
Then we should encourage our employees, and you want to raise them up to the same mindset and level, getting them to invest back into it and read as well. I think. Yeah. It helps.
Love it. All right, thanks for sharing that. I appreciate it, Nick.
Yeah.
So what's up, man? D, bulletproof.
Well, kind of like Nick said, what is mindset in general, right? So mindset is kind of simple. It's very simple. It's how you see yourself, situations, in the world around you, right? Your mindset is your perspective, right? And everybody's perspective is their reality, like we all know. And some of y'all just got very crappy perspectives. Some people's perspectives are very skewed. Some people's perspectives are very negative. And the most important thing is learning how to have the right perspective in every scenario that you in. Yeah. Right. When it comes to developing a really good mindset. All right. So it's a bunch of strategies and tactics and principles to keep a bulletproof mindset. Right. So I got a bunch of notes, but one of them I was thinking about is I read a book called Greatness by Dr. David Cook. Phenomenal book. I like to study from the best mindset coaches in the game. And one of the 5 pillars of mental toughness is preparing for emergencies, right? Practicing for emergencies. And it goes, well, do you have the mental skills to handle the adversity along the way, right? Do you have the mental skills first and foremost, right? Do you have the mental skills when it comes to mindset, right? To deal with the adversity along the way. And everybody in sales, so everybody's favorite sales line is ABC, which is adversity build. Always be closing, right? I like to look at ABC from a different perspective, which is adversity builds character. And I like to ask people, do you have the mental skills to deal with adversity when they come your way? Because it's coming. Storms is coming. Life is going to life. I always, excuse my language, but I always tell people, as soon as you make a decision to be great, be prepared for all the fucked up shit that's going to happen in your life. Because I tell folks, you can have whatever it is that you want in life, but are you prepared to go through everything that it requires to have it, right? And you're going to need the mental skill sets for that. So one of the mental practices that he talks about is preparing for emergencies, right? Prepare for emergencies. And it's a good mental skill set to develop, right? That's how you develop a bulletproof mindset in anything that you do, which is go back and think about times and situations where your lack of preparation stole your performance potential, where you wasn't prepared for certain scenarios and situations, and you got or you lost a deal, somebody scored on you, you got beat up, don't matter what it is. Yeah. So it's like, what you do is, if you know your response ahead of time, especially in unexpected challenges, you got a higher chance of having success. If you have predetermined responses ahead of time, especially in, unexpected challenges, you got a higher chance of success. So I always encourage guys, when you're in the field, no matter what you're doing in life, think about how something could possibly go wrong, right? And then come up with a few ways to be prepared for that situation, just in the event that it arises. Yeah. It may never happen. It may never happen, right? But long as you mentally prepared for it, you got a higher chance of succeeding. And the brain is not built for perfection, but it's built for adapting, right? So you got to have this mindset of like, even though this might not happen, what would I do if it was to happen? So like when I go to doors or when I'm in a sales scenario, I always think about like, what if they say this? All right, I'll say that. What if they do this? Okay, I'll do this. What if they try me like this? Okay, I'll do that. And I always got like 1 to 5 ways mentally I would deal with a situation just in case it occurs. Yeah. So I always tell my men, if you was pregnant, well, you wasn't pregnant, your wife was pregnant. If you went through all your baby classes, that's all the doctors did was prepare you for the emergencies. Yeah. When your wife water broke, because if you didn't do this, you'd just be in the house like, oh my gosh, what'd I do? What'd I do? And most men would have passed out, right? Like if you ain't mentally prepared for those
any athletics, right? Especially in talk about mixed martial arts and UFC, and when you're fighting, you practice the counter as well. All right, if he throws this, here's my counter. If he throws this, and people, say, Nick, you're an overthinker, but I'm the same way, Deshaun. Like I want to think about the potential of every single outcome that could come, that could come my way, right? Like what could happen, so I can be prepared in that moment. Yeah. And this last weekend, I don't know if you guys watched UFC, but we had UFC 314, and Alexander, I think his last name is pronounced Volkanovski. He's from Australia.
Yeah, I heard about him.
And he won, and something he said in his post fight was adversity is a privilege.
Amen.
And I thought it just speaks right on what we're talking about today. He came off 2 losses and came back better and stronger than before with a tougher mindset than he had in the past.
Right.
You're talking about life getting at you like life is mountains and valleys. It's nice to enjoy the mountaintop while you're there, but the valley is where we're built.
Yeah. Amen. Well, what Deshaun was just saying, man, it really it reminds me of a phrase I live by, and I say it all the time. I say it to my kids, I say it to my wife, I say it at work. I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. And that comes to preparation too, right? That's not about material things. So if I'm preparing for a sales call or I'm preparing for a speech, I'd rather do the preparation for all the possible scenarios and ways that can go wrong and be prepared, even though that's more work. In the event something goes wrong, I have that peace of mind knowing how to react, right? Versus a lot of people just try to wing it and there's no preparation with that mentality. So
if something goes sideways, they can't handle it.
Have it and not need it, then need it and not have it.
And even in Relentless, right? Tim Grover says the greats don't wing it. They just don't think. Why? Because they're so prepared for situations that could occur that they don't got to think in those high intense situations. They just react. And y'all just said something that I just want to put a distinction to preparation, right? If you're not a part of the 0.001% that are naturally talented, you better out prepare people. I just want you to be mindful of that. All of y'all ain't LeBron James, big dog. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't got that natural gifted skill sets. So you better out prepare people and understand that preparation is a sign of respect. Mm-hmm. Preparation is a sign of respect, and not even for your opponents or your clients. It's a sign of respect for your success and for yourself.
To respect yourself,
right?
Well, to your point about the athletes or even in sales, you got to control the controllables and deal with the uncontrollables. You don't know what God's gift to you was, if it was size, if it was stature, if it was strength, if it was speed, if it's in sales, if it's charisma, if it's attractiveness, if it's wittiness, whatever. You may have not been given that naturally, but you can control how much you study your craft, how much you prepare for it.
Yeah, and you look at the typical UFC fight, a lot of times you'll see a guy with better endurance and cardio, train more, will beat someone that's more talented. And I'm sure, Deshaun, we've all seen in a sales organization, usually our top producer is not even the most talented speaker or closer. It's the guy that works the hardest.
You work hardest.
There's guys out there usually sell less than that are way more talented at the table, have better, just have that goof of them about themselves. And they'll get outperformed when it comes to the numbers by someone who just works harder.
And I want to add this to that, just one more thing to preparation before we talk about another something to build that bulletproof mindset. Be humble in your preparation, and it frees you up to be arrogant in your performance. When you're humble in your preparation, which means you're a little bit more critical, a little bit more thoughtful, making sure you polish up on things, it allows you to be more arrogant when it's time for you to perform, right? So you need something, bro? All right. So that's one of the first things I wanted to talk about tonight is just being prepared for emergencies, man. It's such a underrated part of like being mentally bulletproof, because people don't think about that. They're just like, oh man, hard things happen and you just got to be ready for them. No. When hard things happen, you should already be mentally prepared for them ahead of time. Like I already got my objections ready for homeowners. I already got my closes ready for homeowners because I'm prepared for those situations. So when I'm on the doors, I get to be a little bit more arrogant because I was humble in my preparation, right?
That's good.
So so that's the first one, right? Being prepared for the emergencies, getting your mind right for that thing. Okay, go lay down then. So take a shower. But the second thing I wanted to talk about, everybody on the call, I just got kids. Some days they.
Hey, bro, single daddy life, man. It's okay. No judgment. It's plus it's kids' hours. We tapping into family time.
That's why we got to stay mentally tough because they'll throw you off your A game. But the second
be relentless.
Second thing I wanted to talk about, which is huge to me, and I think it's super important, is developing a bulletproof mindset. One of the things that you could do to get phenomenal at that is a visualization, right? Like visualization, painting a masterpiece, right? That's what they like to call it, painting a masterpiece, or just visualization. And I just want to let people know that the ability to visualize things is an underrated skill set that we possess as humans. And a lot of people don't spend enough time painting masterpieces in their head before they actually go do the activities and before they actually go do the things that they're supposed to do.
Are you talking about like visualizing the successful outcome before you go execute to get it?
Exactly.
Because I mean, that is what the elite salespeople do. Like everybody gets on the door and they start thinking about, man, I'm so afraid because they're going to tell me no and what's going to go wrong. And nobody rolls up to the door with that swagger foot, right? That little pep in their step. And they're like, man, this is going to be the easiest sale I ever close because I'm so squared away that they can't say no. I know I can help these people. And they don't know what it's going to look like. I'm sitting at the homeowner's table. I'm executing the contract and I'm out of here in an hour with paper. They don't think like that.
And then another two part to that is, Rob talks on this, is a lot of times when a rep feels rejection, one homeowner tells them no, how do they go to the next house? A lot of times they're
down.
Businesses came down, they're down. And the flip side is that when you sell and you close one, that's the best time to go close another one because, and I think that trains over time, it trains your mental toughness. But yeah, I'm with you. I think when you see the win, you visualize it before it happens, it makes it a lot better. And something Deshaun, side note, I've been asking people like how they think. Like I'm one of those. I have like a narrator in my head. I hear my own voice. I don't hear multiple voices. I'm not crazy, but I hear
not yet. Not yet.
I'll hear a voice and I can visualize and picture things, and I've been asking, my wife, random people, kids, my staff, like, how do you think? Like, do you hear your own voice? Do you visualize? And someone's talking to you, like, can't even visualize something. I have to write. So for that visualization, I think is different for some people. Like, I think it's important to write that down too, and to picture it on paper if you need to.
Yeah. Oh, that's really good, because I never thought about that, because I can do both. I can hear my voice and I can visualize things.
Yeah.
And I ain't saying it like I'm an anomaly or nothing. It's just I can hear my voice internally, and then I can sit down and see myself doing things before I go do things. But how does that, what I got to do with having a bulletproof mindset? Because the problem with most of you guys is you think yourself out of situations. You visualize yourself out of the success that you after. So you'll be on the doors, you'll be running an appointment, and you'll be like, oh man, these people ain't gonna buy, man. This is just a repair. They don't want to spend no money. Man, the police gonna come. Man, it ain't nobody home. Man, there's been a bunch of people in this neighborhood. This a waste of time. And like Nick just said, whether you writing it down or whether you saying it all is a form of visualization, right? So I want to encourage y'all to start painting masterpieces. And one thing I'm really good at, these two things go hand in hand when it comes to developing a bulletproof mindset, is first and foremost, only visualize the outcomes that you desire, which means before you get into the field, before you run an appointment, before you do anything, sit down with yourself for like 2 to 3 minutes. If you got to write it out, like Nick said, write it out, or sit by yourself 2 to 3 minutes, close your eyes, visualize yourself walking into that house or knocking on that door, homeowner coming out, being excited to see you, saying, hey, yeah, let me get you an inspection. You find it damaged, going into the home, getting that paperwork signed, leaving with 2 to 3 referrals, and it's going to go exactly how you visualize it in your head, right? And what's one of the powers of visualization is the brain don't know the difference between what's real and what's fake. That's one of the keys to visualization, because some of y'all are like, man, you want me to visualize something that ain't even happened? Exactly, because the brain don't know the difference between what's real and what's fake. So if you can fake your brain out into believing something already happened, it'll really actually start to like act like it's already been done.
Yeah.
Versus for you waiting for it to be done. Like Nick used to do UFC, and Nick just got done running a mutter and all of these things. And it's like, I guarantee you, he visualized the perfect run, executing every obstacle course, good stamina, finishing strong, him and his wife going across the finish line, and boom, that's exactly how it happened.
Yeah. And same, like you said, fighting, you visualize your hand raised, right? If you visualize the opposite, you're going to go in there the wrong headspace.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with a sale. Like, we want to visualize that contract sign, and that's how our headspace should. I think back like on a lot of stuff that's happened, and the great things that I've kind of prayed and wanted in life, and the business, like I visualize the business where it is today. And I think that's every business owner. Like, if you have a goal, and most of these guys just going day by day, going, yeah, I'd like to grow. But like, if you're not picturing where that's going to be, it's not going to happen. You have to feel that emotionally in your head before you're ready for it.
What are they doing, Deshaun? What are they smoking over there when they're doing that?
The hopium.
They smoking the hopium, Nick. They're high on the hopium, bro. They're hoping it's going to come true, but they have no guarantee to themselves that they're going to make it happen. No path, no visualization.
It's a huge pandemic. It's probably up there with fentanyl, honestly.
They're smoking the hopium.
Up there with fentanyl. That's hilarious.
He took it to a Noonan level.
So I want to encourage people, right? Being prepared for the emergencies when they come. Like, thinking things through, having things prepared before things happen. Second thing is painting that masterpiece, visualizing perfect scenarios, right? Before we go to the next thing I want to talk about, this is just like a brief little segment, right? When it comes to the visualization, which is objective optimism, which means before any situation you win, you give yourself the benefit of the doubt, right? How you feel about your abilities approve your abilities. So if you believe you're a good closer, if you think you phenomenal on the doors, if you think you're great with homeowners, if you believe in your abilities will improve in those situations, right? So on top of your visualization, you got to have objective optimism, which is giving yourself the benefit of the doubt in any situation that you're going to do good. Like, I don't doubt me. If anybody know me, I don't doubt Deshaun. I'm my own biggest fan. I think I can do a lot of shit in this world. There ain't too many things that I don't think I can do if I decide to put my mind to it. And I got high levels of objective optimism, which means I believe in my abilities at a very high level. So when I go do things, I do believe it increases my skill set because I believe I'm good at the things that I do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, belief is half that battle.
That goes just to, shout out to Rob Cole in the comment he just made. The adverse side of that is we sell ourselves short on the path to least resistance is what he put up there.
I thought you were going to read the text about Peter Griffin in his head.
I know that one was funny. That one made me laugh.
Yeah. It's like he's having a one-on-one conversation with you, Nick. He's like your dad. No, I'm telling you, man, but it's true, right? Sometimes it's just that easy. Believe in yourself, you're going to do it, and you just go close it. Just go do it. Get the job done.
Well, Napoleon Hill said it best. What the mind can't conceive and believe, the mind can't achieve, right? So once you conceive it and believe it, then you can go achieve it. So you got to have high levels of objective optimism, which is believing in your abilities to get things done. And you got to visualize scenarios before you go experience them. I promise you, if you read the book, I think it's Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell. Michael Phelps, as we know, one of the most decorated Olympians of all time. His coach used to tell him, pop in the tape before he would go do a race. Pop in the tape. And all that means is visualize perfect races before you go do them.
Yeah.
And his track record speaks for itself, right? He got 8 gold medals. So how can somebody say, be like, man, I don't got time to be visualizing. I need to make money. That's why you're not making money, because you're not visualizing the way you want things to go, right? So objective optimism, visualizing things. I want to talk a little bit about a different thing when it comes to developing a bulletproof mindset. I want to talk about neutral thinking. Also, I like to call it emotional maturity, right? But neutral thinking, which means you intentionally detach emotions from situations. It's neither good nor bad. It just is what it is. Emotions are designed to inform us, not direct us. So in order for you to develop a bulletproof mindset, you got to have high levels of poise, that inner confidence that radiates outward, right? So how do you have that neutral thinking and not let the emotions get the best of you when you done had a rough week, a rough scenario? Like you're just saying, Nick, homeowner done cursed you out. Somebody done told you no, it didn't go the way that you wanted to. How do you keep that neutral thinking and not get too high on your highs and not get too low on your lows?
I think this is one of my favorite parts of building a bulletproof mindset. I think I texted you something on it earlier today, but the one thing I've always thought about with emotions is if people are quick to react emotionally before they assess the situation. And when you learn what the switch to having a bulletproof mind and having a tough mindset is that what we have to learn is that, let emotion tell, like you said, but don't let it direct you.
Let it inform you. Don't let it direct
you. But don't let it direct you. Yes. Emotions don't solve any problems. Mm-hmm. And that's what we have to learn as sales reps, as business owners, as anybody in, dealing with anything at all. We're quick to react and get emotional. But when you learn that being worried about it, being anxious about it, being, getting mad about it doesn't fix the problem, then you realize that I'm not going to waste energy to do that. And that's kind of, that's, and anybody that's worked a hero could, they can all contest. They've came to me with a heavy situation, like, oh, this happened. HOA doesn't like this color and our roof's already installed. And I'm just like, all right, well, this is the way we're going to handle it, and just give them the solution versus getting worked up about it. And I think once you realize emotion doesn't fix any problems, I mean, we should all realize that, but it's trained to tell yourself that in the moment. hey, I'm not getting emotional because they ain't going to do anything. Let me come up with a game plan on how to solve the problem.
Well, and just piggyback on that, because I think that's when I really started to take off in my sales career, is when I was able to control emotions, meaning I didn't get too excited with the big wins and I didn't get upset at all with the losses. But I think where I started to rewire myself is when you really understand your why, then the job is never done. So just because you make a sale, just because you make a commission, just because you do something successfully, the job is never done. This guy that won UFC 314, just because he won, his job should not be done. He's got to go train again and do it again, right? You just cannot stop. I think that's what a bulletproof mindset is. You just can't stop.
I'm glad you said that, because some people may not know, but I am a certified mental performance coach. So I do want to let y'all know I don't Google this shit. Like I've been,
baby, let's go.
I've been trained in, high level mental practices. And the difference between the average mindset and the elite mindset, you just said it, Bruce, is the average mindset, when they accomplish something, they say the work is done. The elite mindset, when they accomplish something, they say we just getting started.
What's next? Yeah.
It's just two different mindsets. It's how you stay, bulletproof. But I want to give y'all just something very practical, a distinction when it comes to these situations, how you stay mentally neutral thinking. This is something that I tell myself whether I'm on the doors or no matter what situation I'm in. I say, it's a part of the game.
That's right.
It's just a part of the game. I'm going to knock on the door. They're going to tell me no. It's a part of the game. I'm going to knock on the door. They're going to say yes. That's a part of the game. Mm-hmm. I used to play cornerback in high school. We used to get, if you get beat deep, my coach used to come back to you the next play. He'd be like, it's part of the game, right? Yeah. All right, then let it go, right? Like just being where your feet at. Because if you learn how to be where your feet at, it can actually help you develop high levels of neutral thinking. What do I mean by that? You don't get too far in the future, and you definitely don't live in the past. You just learn to be where your feet at. And when you learn to be where your feet at, it actually keeps you very neutral because you don't overthink things, and you definitely don't try to go to the past and try to change things.
Yeah.
So that's something that I teach my door-to-door sales. My door-to-door salespeople, we'll go out there and hit the doors, and they be like, man, it's been an hour. Nobody answered the door. I'm like, bro, this is a part of the game, bro. Like, this gonna happen. You gotta be like, you gotta mentally know this is just gonna be a part of the game. So you can't let it get you too high. You can't let it get you too low. So I want y'all to start thinking about developing that neutral thinking. It just is what it is. It is what it is. It ain't good. It ain't bad. If you went out there and got 5 deals that day, was it good? No, it just is what it is. If you went out there and got 0 deals that day, was it a bad day? No, it just is what it is. It's just very neutral.
Wins and losses in every game.
Yeah, it's just
people get too hung up on the wins and they get too hung up on that heavy loss. Wins and losses in every game, every day.
Every game. It's just part of it. I tell guys, my favorite days when I go out and train is the days when I go out and train and we have a very rough day. Oh, my bad, yeah. I won't hit the table no more. I'll be getting in my zone. But listen.
well, yeah, finish that thought. I want to piggyback on that real fast before we move to the next one.
Yeah, but I'm saying I love those days when I go out and I have a very rough day because guys get to see that I go through the same things that they go through. And I say the difference between me and y'all is I got a bunch of mental practices that keep me locked in when I'm in crazy situations or hostile situations or unfavorable situations. And all you have is your emotions telling you that it was a bad day, or now you in your feelings, and now today sucked. And I'm looking at it as like, how about we do this? At the end of the day, good, bad, or indifferent, let's pull all the good out of the day. Yeah. Let's sit back and pull all the good out of this day. No matter, like, just pull all the good that happened today. You knocked on every no soliciting door. You stayed in the pain a little bit longer. You overcame that objection. You worked 3 hours straight today, longer than you've ever done. You knocked on that big $1 million home. Like, you've done all of these uncomfortable things, and that's what made it a phenomenal day, or, whatever it may be. So you got to learn how to pull that good. So you got to learn how to develop neutral thinking, man. Don't allow your emotions to get too high. Don't allow them to get too low. One thing I love about Deion Sanders is, he would get beat and then come back and get an interception. So he'll get beat and come back and make a play. That's the epitome. One thing I love about Steph Curry, I tell guys all the time, the reason why Steph Curry is on the record to break the most threes, because even when he missed 10 threes, he keeps shooting.
Yeah.
He's not done shooting. He ain't like, bro, I missed 9 today. I don't think I'm gonna shoot threes no more. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But that's what sales reps will do. They be like, I ran 3 appointments and everybody backed out. I don't think this for me. Like, no, bro. We just keep going, right? But what you about to say, Bruce?
No, it's just so my house recently got hit by hail, right? And when I think about the unshakable or bulletproof mindset, man, I was here working from home. We had about 5 ring notifications before 9 a.m. People was at the door, right? Every roofer was at the door telling me all about how they helping homeowners already by 8 a.m. the next day in the neighborhood at the door. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, they are racing with urgency against each other. So shame on those owners and shame on those sales reps. They're racing against each other to try to be first in line. If they woke up every day with that same sense of urgency, that bulletproof mindset, that it doesn't matter what anybody else is doing because I'm only playing the game against me. I'm not playing the game against every other sales rep, every other company, and they have that high level of urgency. Like, to me, that's the epitome of a bulletproof mindset. Is why don't you knock every home with a house? Like, if there's wind damage or a shingle missing and a car's home at 9 a.m., why you wait till 4 p.m. to start knocking? Why don't you have that urgency every day? And that's the unstoppable mindset.
No, I'm glad you said that because I had to have a conversation with my son the other day, and you just made me think about something because this falls into the same category of what we're talking about, and it's another thing to help you develop a bulletproof mindset, right? Are you somebody who works hard or are you a hard worker?
Right.
Are you somebody who works hard or are you a hard worker? What's the difference? Somebody who works hard, you only exert all your effort and energy when you know that end result plays in your favor. Right? Yeah. You put all the effort and energy in your favor. Look at it. You talking about you found a roof yet? Nah, I got you. I love that, right? But if you're somebody who works hard, you only put all that effort and energy into the task because you know you're gonna get that end result. For example, me and my son, we was training football yesterday, and I told him, he said he want to get on offense, so he's trying to he start, but he's not getting as many reps as he wants. So I said we're gonna work. So we've been doing this thing where we got to catch 30 passes every Monday. Every Monday we catch 30 passes, can't go in the crib, right? So I made it fun for him. I'm like, listen, man, every time we did 10 sprints. I'm like, every time you get past me in under 5 seconds, I give you $3. Right? I made it fun. So I said, you got the opportunity to win $30. So he get every sprint under 5 seconds. Everyone. I said, if you get one under 4 seconds, I give you $10. He got one under 4 seconds, right? So we go through our whole workout. So we doing this drill where he got to run towards me, run to an angle, and I throw him the ball at every angle. And I'm like, once you catch these last 3 passes, we done. We out there for like 15 minutes, bro. Like, he would not catch the 3 passes, bro. He catch 1, drop 2. So we'll have to start over. So I'm like, all right, at this point, bro, you don't want $37. I'm going to take $5 off every time you drop a ball because at this point, I'm just tired of being out here.
They caught 3 in a row?
Caught 3 in a row. 3 in a row. Then drop one. And I had to sit down and talk with him. I'm like, listen, bro, you got to understand that you somebody who work hard and you ain't going to get far in life with that mindset, bro.
Yeah.
Because you only want to give your effort and energy when you know you're going to get a reward or you know you're going to get something in return. I'm like, you got to develop this mindset of you wake up every day and you just empty the bucket because your last name Brian and your first name Richard. And if anything that got your name on it, you just wanted to be signed, sealed, and delivered.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with sales reps. They're not hard workers. They're people who work hard. Hailstorm came, everybody go work hard.
Everybody was here. All of them.
Work hard.
Dirty shoes, untucked polo, looking like a hot mess at 8 a.m. telling me all about the hail damage came through last night.
When you're a hard worker,
have that.
You do that every day. You pull up in the neighborhood, hit it for 4 hours every day because that's just how you wired. It's a different mindset. Like, that's just something y'all can be mindful of when it comes to developing a bulletproof mindset. I just want you to ask yourself, are you a hard worker or are you somebody who work hard? Right. Another thing, obviously one of my favorite things, I kind of wanted to save it towards the end because I know we kind of getting towards that time frame, and everybody knows me. This is one of my favorite things that I teach when it comes to developing a mindset, a bulletproof mindset, and being the best version of yourself, which is your self-talk, right? Like, self-talk is one of the, if not the most important mindset strategy you can develop.
Yeah.
Because you talk to yourself more than you talk to anybody else, whether you know it or not. I know some of y'all like, I don't talk to myself. Yeah, that little voice in your head always talking to you. Mm-hmm. And if you're not aware of what that little voice be saying, It will talk you out of things. It'll talk you into shitty things. It'll make you miss out on opportunities because it will steer you in the wrong direction. So one of the last few ways to develop a bulletproof mindset is PMA, positive mental attitude, good self-talk. Do you spend more time talking to yourself, or do you spend more time listening to yourself, right? Do you have declarations? Do you have mantras? Do you have affirmations? Do you have word tracks and things set into place to where when you mentally get in a funk, do you start talking to yourself to get yourself better in a better mental peak performance, right? So some of y'all know my mantra, some of y'all don't, but one thing I encourage all of my sales reps to do anytime you're in the field, you're having a misfortunate day. I don't even want to say a bad day. You're having a misfortunate day. You're having an unfavorable day. You're having a day where it's a little bit more challenging and it's pulling a little bit more adversity and sweat equity out of you. I want you to start telling yourself all of the good things that you want to know, right? So when I'm in the field, I like to say young homeowners are eager to talk to me. They like my vibe. They want to join my tribe. Business booming so much, I can't stop them from getting inspections. And when we get inspections, we're going to get the roof ball. And those are some of the, positive affirmations that I say to myself. Today going to be a great day. I say that every day I wake up, right? This going to be easy. This going to be in my favor. This going to work, whatever it may be. But I want you to think about, what does your self-talk look like? And are you talking yourself out of situations, or are you talking yourself into situations?
That's one of the most powerful things I've learned from you, is that quote right there. So if you didn't say it, I was going to bring it up, because I've started using that in coaching baseball too. I mean, I used it with my son the other day, man. He's been in a hitting slump for a long time, and we got him back on track because we started encouraging him to talk to himself and tell himself he was going to hit, tell himself he was not afraid, tell himself the ball didn't hurt when he got hit. And he went from, I don't know, like 7 or 8 games without a hit to he hasn't struck out in the last 5 games.
Wow.
And Saw Dog's back. But I say that because I push him to push himself. You know what I mean? Like, I don't push him for me. I don't care if he hits the ball or not. I don't care if we win or not. I don't need that. I got my trophies. You know what I'm saying? So I'm telling him, do this for you, but you got to tell yourself, you can't get in the box and be scared and listen to yourself. And what if I get hit? What if I strike out? What if I let the team down? What if I mess up? You got to start telling yourself you're not going to do those things. And things are not going to bother you. And, I'm not going to say that that's all of it, but I attribute some of that, change that mental awareness helps.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. And I think Nick will enjoy this because, a little bit. I think Nick will enjoy this because Nick a big church guy. I don't want to say religious guy. He might be a religious guy. I just know he go to church, right?
Nah, I got a relationship with Jesus, man.
Amen. That's all that matters. But in the Bible, his name is the I am, the I am. And I like to let people know, be very mindful of what you put after that I am. And the reason why a lot of y'all, your memory sucks. You're not good at remembering names. You're always late. You're stagnant. You're still the same person that you was 2 years ago, because you put I am behind everything that's negative. I am bad at remembering names. I am always late.
Oh, yeah.
I am always forgetting things. I am always this. And you got to understand that the way your brain is wired, it will look for evidence. The brain don't say you wrong. Let me tell you what's right. The brain say, oh, that's what we do? Bet. Let me find that. Let me start looking for that. So I want to encourage y'all to start putting better words behind that I am. I am happy. I am healthy. I am wealthy. I am focused. I am dangerous. I'm a pro, right? Every day we taking steps to move my family forward, right? Changing lives everywhere we go, making connections to get keys to open new doors, right? I am a millionaire. Like, that's my life declaration. Those are the things that I put behind I am, right? So another thing to be mindful of as you're developing this bulletproof mindset is, what are you saying after I am? What does that self-talk look like? Are you your own? This is what I tell these sales reps all the time, every weekend, Bruce. I say, you the most negative person in your life.
Yeah.
You want to blame your shitty friends, all of these things. I agree. So I just wanted to cover that, Nick. I wanted to cover that last little piece about, the self-talk, because I know we got a pledge that we want to encourage everybody to embody and step into.
Well, and I love that on two different parts, because I had challenging negative thoughts and also practice mindful awareness, where you are speaking positively to yourself and you're catching
Hang
those.
on 1 second, Nick. There's some bad feedback. Jared, you know where that's coming from?
I think it's yours.
It sounds good on mine.
Yeah.
It's my side?
Mute you real quick and see what it does. I think it's gone. No.
I don't know. I hear both of y'all fine.
Okay, all right, we'll deal with it. I'm sorry, Nick. I didn't mean to throw you off track.
You said challenge your negative thoughts.
Challenge your negative thoughts and speak, catch yourself speaking politely to you. Another part of that, and Brandon J just said this in one of his reels, is, your company is important to you. The 5 people you're around. They always say you're the average of your 5 people. So I think building a bulletproof mindset also takes having the right folks around you and cutting out those negative people. Oh, so I don't think. Sorry, I'm trying to be. But sorry, that threw us off topic. But what I'm saying is,
it's normal.
We're the sum of who we're around, right? And I remember when I first opened Hero, there was all those negative people around me from working from the restaurant industry with my wife, and like, oh, you think he's gonna be able to do that? He had a clothing brand to make. Is this gonna be like his other business? We're not friends with people anymore. We're around people that are like, man, let's do that. That's a great idea. You guys can sell more doors. You cannot. You don't want cancer in the business because you don't want that negative sales rep bringing the rest of them down. I think that helps everybody with a mental mindset.
Oh, your relationships and your environment is everything, because in the right environment, people thrive. In the wrong environment, people die, right? So being in the right environment does have everything also with developing a bulletproof mindset, because if you're around people that tell you you can, we excited for you, we believe in you, we encourage you, we uplift you, that's super important, because it allows you to trust your talent as well.
I agree.
Being around the right people. You know what I'm saying?
Who's giving them this pledge? Near you.
I'm gonna let you hit him with the pledge, man. I feel like I've been talking a lot tonight, so I'm gonna let you hit him with the pledge, and then I'm gonna double it back. Once you say it, I double it back.
So we have a pledge, and maybe either myself or Jared can put this in the chat. And we have basically a challenge for anybody on this call. I want you guys to make a reel, recite this pledge, and then tag the Best Hustler Academy and Roof Hustlers in it, where we share it, of course. So the bulletproof mindset pledge is: I pledge to be honest with myself and take personal responsibility for all I do. I pledge to walk through fire with a smile. Adversity is a privilege. I know that no matter what I face, no negative emotion will fix it. I will remain resilient and strong in all challenges of life. I pledge to have a bulletproof mindset.
Whoa! I love it. And just one more time for everybody that ain't hearing in the back. I pledge to be honest with myself and take personal responsibility for all I do. I pledge to walk through fire with a smile on my face. Adversity is a privilege. I know that no matter what I face, no negative emotion will fix it. I will remain resilient and strong in all challenges of life. I pledge to have a bulletproof mindset. Right? So, we want to encourage y'all to take the pledge. Internalize the pledge, embody the pledge, and then record yourself on social media saying the pledge. Tag Roof Hustlers, tag Best Hustler Academy, tag Best Roofer Marketing, whatever it may be. Tag Hero Roofing, the CEO. What you call the Hero CEO?
My Instagram handle is the CEO Hero.
The CEO Hero. Tag any one of us, or just tag the Best Hustler Academy. Make it easy for you. And we'll repost it. And we got some swag bags and some gear that we finishing up. And, we'll send you some gear. Or I take it one step up. I might give you a coaching call as well, man. Just the people that's committed, right? We give you a little 30-minute, coaching call, help you develop a bulletproof mindset, help you with some strategies. Let me know what's stopping you at the door. One more time. I got you. One more time for the people in the back. I pledge to be honest with myself and take personal responsibility for all I do. I pledge to walk through fire with a smile. Adversity is a privilege. I know that no matter what I face, no negative emotion will fix it. I will remain resilient and strong in all challenges of life. I pledge to have a bulletproof mindset. Hey, Nick wrote that for the record. I know y'all thought I wrote it. I ain't write that. Nick wrote that. That shit fire.
That's an in-branding official.
Sounds better out of you than
That's fire, though. I love that. I pledge to have a bulletproof mindset. And in order for you to do door-to-door sales or any sales or anything in life, man, you're going to need a bulletproof mindset. And don't get me wrong, it's a bunch of more mindset strategies and tactics and principles that we can teach on, right? But it's one thing when you actually just locked in, focusing and teaching, and it's another thing when you unpacking all of these things to make sure they make sense. And I just wanted to talk to y'all about developing this bulletproof mindset, because the problem with most of y'all, you want the skills before you get the mindset. And that's why you keep falling apart. You don't have the mindset to deal with the adversity that comes with life or success as a whole, and you just fall apart like toilet paper and water, right? I want you to learn
micro content right now.
You feel? Oh, you
might be when life
that?
Your lemons make orange juice. That might be the one you fall apart like toilet paper and water.
You feel me?
He's soft like wet flour.
So I just want y'all to be mindful of that. That's why I'm a firm believer in once you get your mind right, you can get your grind right.
We got
grind don't peak because your mind weak.
Listen. We got about 8 minutes left. You want to see if anybody wants to ask a couple of questions or maybe share anything in the chat?
Yeah. We got like 8 minutes left. If it's anybody that's on live, I don't know how many people on here. I can't see nobody. For all I know, I'm just talking to y'all two for an hour. That's all.
No, it was about 25.
Yeah, I don't know how many people in here. But anybody who's left, anybody got any questions, any feedback, anything, it don't got to be pertaining to what we talked about today. Just give y'all an opportunity to type some stuff in the chat. We'll answer some questions, whether it's business stuff, Nick can help you, marketing stuff, sales stuff. Bruce can help you, or, anything that you want to ask, I can help you pertaining to sales, door-to-door sales.
While the questions coming in, quick update for everybody too. I think we have solidified a venue in Atlanta, so we're really excited about the Best Life experience.
Oh yeah.
November 13th to 14th, man, this is going to be amazing. We're working on some really good speakers from in and outside the industry. We're going to have a really good agenda. It's going to be action-packed, man. It's going to be interactive. I'm just super excited that all the brainstorming we've done to make sure that this is a different experience than a lot of the conferences or webinars you've attended or many trainings. This is going to be something unique, guys. So buckle up. I'm excited for it.
Somebody just hit me up today. They was like, "We gonna see you in Atlanta in November." I'm like, "Let's go."
Yeah.
Let's go.
One thing I was gonna add, Deshaun, while people are asking, typing out questions on this bulletproof mindset. I think it's important that we have to have a conscious effort moving forward after this call. If we just have this call and like, oh, I'm gonna say this pledge and not think about it, nothing's gonna happen, right? So we have to have this conscious effort and this thought every day about what we're gonna do to improve our mindset, to improve our drive.
Well, the hardest part about mental toughness strategies and practices, they're intangible. All the shit just sound good. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, it sound good. But it's like, no. I tell everybody, yoga. I love my amen. Yoga, astrology, mindfulness, meditation, all of these peaceful practices that people always talking so highly about. I said, it don't matter when your life is peaceful and positive. It only matters when shit gets shaken up in your life. Can you use those practices now to stay locked in and stay focused and fight through the adversity? Exactly. Most people throw them out the window. Bobby Jones, what's up, baby? OG Bobby Johnson in the building. I mean, you put the Y in there. I mean, put the Y in there. They Sean, But that's the most important thing. Hero checking in. Great content as always. Look at Alicia in the building.
Appreciate you, Miss Knight.
You know what I mean? But yeah, that's when mental toughness practices matter. Is when life gets hectic, when the world starts shaking up. Can you stay locked in, focused, prepared for the emergencies, painting that masterpiece, neutral thinking, right? Not getting too high on your highs, not getting too low on your lows, objective optimism, which is having a lot of trust and faith in your abilities so your abilities can start to transcend and go to a new level. And most importantly, do you got that positive self-talk, right? To where you speaking life into your everyday situations versus being negative, right? So that's the only time mental toughness strategies really matter. I went to an event maybe 2-3 years ago, and the dude was a mental performance coach, and he said, I tell you no lie, he looked like a baker, like a baker, like somebody that baked cakes, fluffy hair. Just he looked like a house dad. Like he looked like, I don't know. He just didn't look like a mental performance guy. And he said something that I love. He said, there's no such thing as mentally tough people, but there are people who display mental toughness during tough times. And I was like, that's really good, because in reality, he'll just go around being mentally tough all day. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you wake up in the morning, you like, the hell with this milk, I'm mentally tough. Like, no, bro, like you just chilling. You living life until life gets chaotic. Then the person who's mentally tough shows up. The guy who's mentally strong actually, has more opportunity than other people due to their inability to be mentally tough in certain situations. You know what I mean? So, like you said, Nick, that's the most important thing after this call is being mindful enough to be like, hey, can I pull out these strategies and tactics and these principles and these techniques in the midst of adverse situation?
We'll keep applying.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right. It matters, right? It matters. So, yeah, obviously nobody asked no questions, so it's all good, baby. But
man. Hopefully this was helpful for you guys, man. We're going to check in next month. We'll have something else to share for sure.
Yeah, we're going live every month, man. Next month, we might have somebody on here with us. We might bring on a little guest. We don't know yet, but we might bring on an extra body and have some fun. So that's just something we're thinking about. But, at the end of the day, we're going live every month. Oh, yeah, put that flyer up again. We're going live every month until the event get here. And we might go live at the event, too. You know what I'm saying? We just going to keep this shit going. You know what I mean?
Broadcast.
It's gonna be momentum by the time November get here, and then it's just gonna be a new practice, new habit, right? And then boom, better brand awareness, new clients, people sharing the shit, just gonna explode. Booyah!
That's it, boys. Well, let's wrap it. Let's let everybody get back to it, man. I appreciate you guys as always. You killed it.
Amen, man. Hey, y'all go put them kids to bed. Put yourself to bed. Go get you some bread. Go get you. No, I'm just playing. And as always, baby, hustle hard, hustle smart. And don't be afraid to bow God.